The Boombots are back at the top in patch 14.7, so in this video we'll be breaking down how to play them, going over the main carries, items, augments and more. So of course this comp mainly plays around the Boombot trait and it uses a bunch of 4 and 5 cost units helping to complete our board. The main damage dealers here will be Urgot, Garen and Vex, and Cho'Gath will be our main tank. This comp is super strong if you get everything online, and it can be one of the strongest late game boards you can play. However, you need to reach level 9 with a strong economy, as this is a very expensive board to complete. You'll have to manage your gold, look for win streaks and pick augments to help you on your way to level 9. The full comp uses Urgot, Garen, Vex, Cho'Gath, Kabuko, Viego, Zac, Fiddlesticks and Skarner. If you do get a Boombot emblem, you can also swap out Viego for Kog'Maw here to activate 6 Boombots in the late game. You can also play Urgot and Vex as duo carries in a Divinicore setup instead. Cho'Gath will also stay here as the main tank, but the rest of your units will be replaced by Divinicore instead. Consider this variation if you don't have as much gold or if you do get a Divinicore emblem. If you simply aren't building a good economy and don't see yourself reaching high levels, you can instead pivot to our Beefsticks reroll comp. Here you'll reroll at level 7 instead to 3-star Fiddlesticks, and if you find artifact items like Sniper's Focus or Blighting Jewel, this can be a really strong comp. If you don't really have any direction at all, but you've already slammed Urgot's items like Kraken and Rageblade, you do have some options to pivot into though, like Marksman Vanguard or Exotech Zeri to name a few examples. If you are enjoying this video, then don't forget we have tons more videos like this one for so many comps on our website, so click the link in the description to see them for yourself. Well, let's move on to items then, and we'll start off with our main damage dealer here, which is Urgot. His best item by far is going to be Kraken's Fury, as he has so much attack speed from his ability, it helps stack up so much AD. Combine this with a Rageblade and a Striker's Flail, he's going to be doing so much damage in teamfights. We recommend you always have the Krakens, but other items after that could be Deathblade, Giant Slayer or even a Last Whisper. Then we have the big boy himself, Cho'Gath. Warmogs is his best item by far, as it gives him a ton of extra health. Pair this with a Spirit Visage to regenerate more missing health and a Bramble Vest to deal with AD comps. As a tank he is pretty flexible though, so items like Dragon's Claw, Gargoyle's Stoneplate and a Protector's Vow will all get the job done. AP items are going to be going onto the not so happy Yordle, Vex. Now you can try cheering her up by giving her a blue buff for faster casting, a Gunblade to keep the front line healed up and a Morello's to spread your anti-heal. You always want to get yourself a blue buff on her, but the remaining items can be anything like Striker's Flail, Jeweled Gauntlet or a Death Cap. Finally, for leftovers, any remaining AD items can go onto Garen and any tank items onto Zac. Now moving on to augments, and one of the best options is the Boombot Crest or Circlet. Now you can't activate 6 Boombot without a +1, so if you see these pop up, it's a must click as the damage increase goes crazy. Then we have the Boombot's own augment called Hunter Killer Missile. This makes Boombots fire an additional missile at the enemies, dealing even more damage. This helps you streak even harder during the early game, and as we're playing Garen, getting Boombot mods on everyone can make this augment go absolutely insane, with the whole team gaining the effects of this augment. The last S tier augments we'd recommend here will be Level Up or Upward Mobility. Now as this is a fast 9 board, these augments will help so much, as without an Econ augment you won't be able to get level 9 as easier and could easily bleed out before you even get there. For A tier augments, we'd recommend Fire Sale or Late Game Specialist for extra gold, or other econ augments like Slamming or Patient Study. For combat augments, you can also look out for Big Grab Bag and Bulky Buddies. Now your best chance to win when playing this comp is simply by completing your board with all the perfect 2-starred 4 and 5 cost units with solid items too. This is honestly easier said than done, but you can also try to lean towards this comp before your game starts with portals that offer tons of gold like Scuttle Puddle, Prismatic Party or Gold Sub, as these portals with the help of Econ Augments 2 will make getting level 9 much more achievable. Getting to the late game while still having a solid amount of HP left is key to taking home first place, so playing the strongest board you can throughout the early game and getting to level 9 before anyone else is genuinely the way to win here. With this, you need to capitalize on win streaks during the early and mid game and get to 50 gold as quickly as possible. If you do manage to reach level 9 with a solid amount of health and gold to help you hit your 2-star carries and have the right items or augments, you're going to be well on your way to a first place finish. Let's get on to the game plan next then, and as this is a fast 9 comp, you want to spend your gold wisely and try to stay on a win streak so you have enough health later on to roll for your expensive carries. During the early game, you want to play a strong board and look to get your win streak going early. You can play around most lines as we won't have our main carries till much later. We like the rapid fire Vanguard setup as Skarner is on our final board and Kog'Maw can hold Urgot's items perfectly. Remember, if you're confident you can 5 streak, you can also aggressively level to 5 the round before or after the carousel. If you don't have any upgraded units or any good items to make, then lose streak this stage, get your carousel priority and make it your mission to get to 50 gold ASAP. Level up to 6 at 3-2 or even earlier at 3-1 if you're still on a win streak and you're afraid of losing to someone else. If you find early copies of units you'll play later or even 4 cost units who you can use, play them instantly during this stage. Try to keep your gold above 50 here unless you want to aggressively level to 7 after the stage 3 carousel to keep up your win streak. If you do have a Boombot emblem here by this point, play around 4 Boombots as soon as you can, as it will make you extremely strong for the mid game. At the start of stage 4 you want to level up to 8. Now keep in mind we ideally need our goal for level 9 in the next stage, which is why you might start losing some fights here. But if you find yourself with less than 40 health, you should roll a bit and start stabilizing your board by upgrading those 4 cost units. Here you can also look out for item holders like Aphelios and Zed to hold Urgot's and Garen's items. If you're healthy after win streaking the majority of the game, just start sacrificing some of your health and save as much gold as you can so we can roll down for our level 9 board at the beginning of stage 5. Then you want to try and rush to level 9 at around stage 5-2 or after the carousel depending on how much health and gold you have. Then you can start rolling down your gold and getting your units to complete your comp. Getting 1 copy of each 5 cost plus a 2-star Cho'Gath and Vex will keep you more than stable at the start of stage 5. With this you can then econ back up to 30 gold and roll down again to complete your upgrades. The most important 2 units to get in as early as possible are Garen to start printing mods and Zac to start collecting blobs, as well as activating 4 Boombot of course. Once you have rolled down again and you have your level 9 board upgraded with the main carries having 3 items each and 2 starred, you'll be well on your way to a first place finish. Let's finish off with positioning then and start off with your damage dealers. You want to place your Urgot behind your tank in Cho'Gath, and Vex can be placed in the middle of the back row as you don't want to corner her as her ability does AoE. Place Garen next to your Cho'Gath but not too close to the enemy backline as we don't want him getting focus first. As Cho'Gath and Zac will be our tankiest units, you want both of these to the very left and right so these get focused first by the corner carries. Kabuko, ideally you want him in the middle as he'll knock up the biggest clump of enemies here. Remember to watch out for Graves players though by making sure Cho is the first unit he attacks. Along with Zed and Sejuani players, just keep your Urgot on the opposite side of these two. And that should give you everything you need to know on how to win with our Boombot Flex Comp. Now remember, you can follow along with this guide in game and with our TFT overlay, so make sure you download that and bring it with you into your next game. Good luck and have fun.